clear coat on your car. We are going to try to repair the clear coat damage on this 1995 Toyota Camry. And as you can see, unlike the previous video, the clear coat damage on this Toyota Camry is quite severe. And as far as the hood on this car is concerned, you want to talk about clear coat damage. There is no clear coat damage, but that's only because there's absolutely no clear coat on this hood whatsoever. Now I know people are going to be curious about this, so while we're at it and when we're trying to repair the damaged clear coat on the fender, we're going to go ahead and spray some clear coat on the hood as well. Now before we go any further, and just in case the clear coat repair we're about to do here turns out really well, and I think everyone needs to know that no matter what we do here, the clear coat repair is not going to be a long-lasting repair. And for this repair, I'm going to be using this 2K clear coat that you see right here. And obviously you want to try to use a 2K clear coat because they're a lot better than these 1K or one single stage clear coats that you can buy at your local auto parts store. And as far as why 2K clear coats are better, basically a 2K clear coat is a two-part clear coat. One part clear and then one part hardener. See on these cans, the hardener is on the bottom, and I'll show you how to mix it with the clear coat later. Now if you're interested in this 2K clear coat or any other tools or products that I'll be using in the making of this video, and you want to buy them online, I'll put links to where you can find them for cheap in the description box down below, so don't be afraid to click on them and check them out. As far as why the clear coat repair we're about to do is not going to be a long-lasting repair, but also just to teach you the basics of automotive paint work, we are going to take a quick lesson in the steps involved in painting a car. Alright, so fresh off the production line, all the different panels on your car are going to be basically bare metal. Basically, they're going to look like this bare piece of metal that I have here. So in order to protect this bare piece of metal, the first thing that's going to be sprayed on it is going to be some type of self-etching primer or an epoxy primer. And again, this is to protect the metal against rust, moisture, and corrosion. And next, after that dries, it's time to spray some base coat. Base coat being what gives your car its color. And your base coat is going to be the thinnest layer. The different finishes that are sprayed on your car, and it's just there to apply some color. And then after the base coat dries and after a certain amount of time passes by, then clear coat is sprayed. And clear coat has to be applied within a certain window after you apply your base coat. Let's say about an hour up to 24 hours. And that's so it can bond and stick to the base coat. And the job of your clear coat is to protect your base coat against the sun and also give it that nice shiny gloss. So this is not so shiny right now, but pretty soon it's gonna have a nice shiny gloss. There, I think you guys can see it better at this angle. Alright, enough of that. Now let's get on to the repair procedure. So first thing you want to do is to get yourself a bucket of clean water and then add your favorite car wash soap, and then using a clean sponge, thoroughly clean the panels that are to be repaired. Now it's true that if you use a sponge and if you go hard enough, you can put hairline scratches on your clear coat, but again, there's no clear coat on this car. And after that, you get yourself another clean bucket of water and thoroughly wash down the panels. And obviously this would be a lot easier if you could use a garden hose, but I just don't have one here inside the shop. By the way, I just thought of a pretty cool tip I can give you guys, and that's, you can just use water to get an idea of how things will look like after you apply your clear coat. So for example, here on the hood, this is probably what's going to look like after we apply our clear coat and give this panel that shiny gloss. As you can see, the discoloration in the base coat has been going on for just way too long, and you're still going to see it even if you apply clear coat to it, but it is a bit of an improvement, I guess. Also, you can use the same thing to see whether the damage to the lens of your headlight is from the outside or from the inside. Just spray some water, and that's pretty much what it's going to look like if you were to apply clear coat to the outside of it. Now in the case of this headlight, as you can see, there is a lot of improvement when we put water, so there's a lot of corrosion to the outside of this lens, but it's still not 100% clear, so there's also some corrosion to the inside of this lens as well. Alright, next you grab yourself a microfiber towel and then thoroughly dry off the panels that are going to be repaired. Alright, now as you can see, we still have clear coat towards the bottom portion of this panel, but it's completely missing on the top part. Now in order for the new clear coat that we're going to be spraying on here to have that stick to this old clear coat, we need to scuff up this old clear coat. You can either use some 1500 grit sandpaper or a gray Scotch Brite pad. And this isn't just any Scotch Brite pad, this is made specifically for auto body and paint repair. And if you're interested, again, link in the description box. And I prefer this because not only it's easier to use than a sandpaper, but it's also going to be a lot easier using this to get rid of this flaking clear coat that we have around the edges. You really need to get rid of all this, otherwise, you know, whatever you spray over this is going to flake off with it. All right? Now, since this is a pretty severe case, pretty much no matter what we do, there's still going to be some flaky clear coat around the edges, but you know, we're just going to do the best we can. Also, it goes without saying, make sure you don't scratch the adjacent panels when you go near them with your Scotch Brite pad. You know, put some tape on them if you have to, yada yada. But you know, I'm not going to spend so much time on this car because this is going to the junkyard pretty soon. Alright, so I'm just going to stop halfway and I'm going to bother with the rest of this fender. But if you were to do this properly, you would, you know, use the Scotch Brite pad on the entire panel. That way when you go to spray your clear coat, you can simply spray clear coat on the entire panel and be done with it. Now, you know what, just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to split this fender up to 3 segments. The center area we'll leave alone so we can compare our repair areas with that. On this left side, we'll spray our clear coat just as it is right now. But on the right side, I'm also going to scuff up the base coat with the Scotch Brite pad, see if that makes any difference. And again, some of the green base coat is going to come off with your Scotch Brite pad, but I tried it on this little area on the hood earlier, and as you can see, it does look a little greener than the rest of the hood. Oh yeah, we're going to do the hood as well. All the benefits of having a crappy car at your disposal, I guess. So there, as expected, a bunch of base coat came off. So once again, after we finish sanding, we grab ourselves a clean bucket of water. Again, thoroughly wash down our panel. Alright, so normally next step would be to tape and mask around the panel that's about to be sprayed. But since this car is going to the junkyard again, I'm not going to bother with that. So there's that, but if you're doing this on a car that's not going to the junkyard, I recommend you put masking paper on the entire car, or at least all the way to the rear windshield, because these cans, they're pretty strong, and once you start spraying, and if the rest of the car is not covered, you're going to get overspray on them, and since this is 2K clear coat, you're going to have a hard time cleaning it off. Alright, so next we're going to shake this can for 2 minutes. Next we'll remove this plastic cap from up top and place it on the bottom like this. Alright, and next we'll just turn this upside down and then press it down from up top. And that mixes the hardener with our clear coat. And once more, we shake it for 2 minutes. So what we're going to do is to apply 3 medium coats to each segment with 50% overlap. Also, it's very important before you start spraying, you grab yourself one of these.
Luke, I'm your mom's baby daddy.
So you want to spray this from about 80 inches away from the panel, and also make sure you start moving your hand before you start pressing down on this and start spraying. Otherwise, if you're not moving before you start spraying, you're going to leave a blob of clear coat on one end. So there's that side. Alright, so here's what we have after our first pass. You know, a little bit of improvement, but again, you are spraying clear coat on a panel that has hardly any clear coat left, so there is going to be improvement. But how good is it going to come out? That's a different story. Alright, 5 minutes later, and now we're going to make our second pass. And our third and final coat. Alright, next I'm just going to wait about an hour and then go ahead and remove the centerpiece, and then we can look and see if we've made any improvements. Alright, so it's been an hour. Let's peel these off. As always, as I've said before, you want to peel these away from the clear coat you just sprayed on there. There we go. Alright, so first, here's a look at the hood. Improvement. Yeah, I would say so. how much of an improvement. I'm not too sure. Alright, so here's a shot at this angle. You guys can see it better. As you can see, it's still pretty clear where the clear coat damage was before we started spraying. As far as whether this side is better than this side that we sanded down with our Scotch Brite pad, you know, honestly, I can't really tell a difference. Maybe just a little bit better on this end, actually. Just a tad, from this angle at least. Actually, once you get closer, I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to pick these up, but you can see some lighter spots on this side where we sanded with our Scotch Brite pad. Whereas on this side is, you know, it's still there's still clearly discoloration, but it's still at least somewhat more even. And here's a look from a little further back. This might give you a better idea of how things look like. So as you can see, things are shinier. I mean, that's expected. You are spraying clear coat. You're going to have some improvement, but, you know, the areas where we had the damaged clear coat, when it transitions to the areas where there's still clear coat, the difference is still noticeable, even though we have clear coat on both sides now. Now, I guess an argument could be made that if we were to spray the hood and the hood only, there would be a noticeable difference, and it would be you know, pretty big improvement. But that would only be because there would be nothing to compare it to. You know, like on the fender, discoloration to the base coat that has happened over time, that this clear coat on the top portion has been missing. When we spray clear coat on both sides, you know, you can compare it to each other, and then there's a huge difference. Whereas on the hood, you know, the clear coat is completely gone, so you have nothing to compare it to. And one could argue it would make a huge difference. Now, if this result disappointed you, fear none, because in the next few weeks, I'm going to make a video showing you how you can sand, apply primer, and also base coat and clear coat using nothing but spray cans. Now, before you go, do me a favor and share this video on your favorite social network, and also check out these other related videos, of which I'll put links to on this side of the screen that you can click on. There will also be links in the description box down below as well. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.